أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة، رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة فيها كتب قيمة، وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة، وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة. إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها، أولئك هم شر البرية. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية، جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا، رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه، ذلك لمن خشي ربه. صدق الله العلي العظيم. الفاتحة.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات. क्यों छोड़ के जाते हो हमें भाई मदीना, बतलाओ रहे कैसे अंधेरे में सकीना।
क्यों छोड़ के जाते हो हमें भाई मदीना, बतलाओ रहे कैसे अंधेरे में सकीना।
तुम जाते हो अम्मा भी फूफी भी चलिया से,
तुम जानते हो डरती हूँ वीरान मका से।
तकदीर ने मुझसे मेरे,
तकदीर ने मुझसे मेरे कुनबे को है छीना, बतलाओ रहे कैसे अंधेरे में सकीना।
मालूम न था अब कभी घर जा न सकूंगी,
डरती थी अंधेरे से अंधेरे में रहूंगी।
मरने से भी बदतर हुआ,
मरने से زندان میں جینا بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
ایک روز تو آزاد ہوا کرتے ہیں قیدی،
قسمت میں خدا جانے میرے قید ہے کیسی.
اس قید سے پاؤ گی،
اس قید سے پاؤں گی رہائی میں کبھی نہ. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
جس روز سے نکلی ہوں میرے بھائی میں گھر سے،
جز درد ملا کیا ہے سکینہ کو سفر سے.
اس دن سے مقدر میں،
اس دن سے مقدر میں رہا اشک ہی پینا. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
میں کہتی تھی مل جائے رہائی کسی صورت،
گھر جا کے میں دادی سے کروں گی یہ شکایت.
دادی میرے بابا کو،
دادی میرے بابا کو مسلمانوں نے چھینا. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
وہ ظلم اٹھائے ہیں کہ بتلا نہیں سکتی،
وہ زخم ہے سینے میں کہ دکھلا نہیں سکتی.
مر کر بھی میسر نہیں،
مر کر بھی میسر نہیں راحت کا کرینہ. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
اچھا چلو گھر جاؤ تو صغرا سے یہ کہنا،
آباد رہو شاد رہو اے میری بہنا.
اب خواب میں آئے گی،
اب خواب میں آئے گی تمہیں ملنے سکینہ. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
تم قبر بنا کر میری زندہ سے چلے ہو،
اتنا تو ذرا تم میرے بارے میں بھی سوچو.
دل میں ہے لعینوں کے،
دل میں ہے لعینوں کے بھرا مجھ سے ہی کینہ. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
توصیف در زندہ پہ لرزتے رہے عابد،
ریحان بہت دیر تڑپتے رہے عابد.
جب قافلہ زندہ سے،
جب قافلہ زندہ سے چلا سوئے مدینہ. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ. کیوں چھوڑ کے جاتے ہو ہمیں بھائی مدینہ. بتلاؤ رہے کیسے اندھیرے میں سکینہ.
اماں 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 رکا نہ شمرے لئی میرے بین سے 70 قدم تھی دور یہ زینب حسین سے. بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں.
بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں.
شمر نے کی پھر ایسی گستاخی.
شمر نے کی پھر ایسی گستاخی مجھ سے دیکھا نہیں گیا اماں. بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں.
تم جو زلف سوارا کرتی تھی انہی زلفوں میں ہاتھ تھا اس کا.
جہاں بوسے دیے تھے نانا نے اسی گردن سے خون ٹپکتا تھا.
سر شبیر یوں اٹھائے ہوئے
سر شبیر یوں اٹھائے ہوئے شمر خیمے تک آ گیا اماں. بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں.
دیکھ کر مجھ کو بین کرتے ہوئے شمر ہر بار مسکراتا رہا.
میری نظروں کے سامنے ظالم وار گن کر چھری چلاتا رہا.
تیرا ضربے کند خنجر تھا.
تیرا ضربے کند خنجر تھا اور شبیر کا گلا اماں. بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں.
چاروں جانب سے گھیر رکھا تھا تیرے نور نظر کو لشکر نے.
تیر برساتا تھا کوئی اس پر کوئی پتھر سے مارتا تھا اسے.
ریت زخموں پہ وہ گراتا رہا.
زخموں پہ وہ گراتا رہا جس کو پتھر نہیں ملا اماں بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں
تیگ جس دم کوئی چلی اس پر ہائے عباس کے رویا تھا
تیر پیشانی پہ لگا جس دم ہائے اصغر زباں پہ آیا تھا
ہائے اکبر پکارا بھیا نے
ہائے اکبر پکارا بھیا نے جب بھی نیزہ کوئی لگا اماں بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں
ایسی نفرت تھی ان کے سینوں میں یہ بھی سوچا نہ شام والوں نے
دین اسلام میں ذبیحہ تک ذبح پیاسے نہیں کیا کرتے
3 دن سے حسین پیاسا ہے
3 دن سے حسین پیاسا ہے یہ بھی سوچا نہیں گیا اماں بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں
مائیں زینب سے کہتی تھی اکبر میرے آگوش میں تھا سر اس کا
میں نے گردن کو کٹتے دیکھا تھا میں نے سانسوں کو رکتے دیکھا تھا
آخری بار زیر خنجر بھی
آخری بار زیر خنجر بھی میں نے شبیر سے سنا اماں بھائی بھائی پکارتی رہی میں پھر بھی خنجر نہیں رکا اماں
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected scholars, my elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Almighty Allah, we have gathered today for the concluding night of Ashra Zainabiyya and nearly the end of the holy month of Muharram and Safar. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Vyake Chode Masumeen to accept our azadari and amals performed. Ameen. For the past 11 nights, we have been blessed with the presence of Sheikh Abbas Ismail, who is a resident in London, born and brought up in the UK. Sheikh pursued his BA degree in Qom and in 2009 completed his MA degree in Islamic Studies in the University of London. Sheikh has served as a resident alim for Essex Jamaat and currently is doing an in-depth study of Ziyar al-Jamiyah, which gives an insight into the Imam of our time. These lectures have been simplified and broadcasted since 2022 and are available on YouTube for us to listen to. For this, I feel the community worldwide should be very thankful to Sheikh, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue blessing him and his family. This Ashra, Sheikh's topic was Yearning for Imam Zamana, Ajjallahu Ta'ala Faraj Sharif. Salli ala Muhammadin wa alihi. Building a connection with the master of the time. He masterfully took us to the true understanding of living with the Imam of our time, Ajjallahu Ta'ala Faraj Sharif. Salli ala Muhammad. Sheikh Ismail's humble and simple nature drew a decent crowd, this Ashra, where he dispelled myths, given proof from the Holy Quran, and guided us in answering questions that we have held in our hearts. On behalf of Mombasa Jamaat, I wholeheartedly thank Sheikh Abbas Ismail for accepting our invitation and traveling all the way from London, devoting his time from his very busy schedule. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your family. During the Ashra, the Student Welfare Society youths under the Hussaini Madrasa did an exhibition, Tales of Tears exhibition, The Journey of Masuma Bibi Sakina alayhi salam, which was truly an outstanding initiative and very well commendable presentation. It even attracted the interest of our other Muslim brothers in faith. Since May this year, when the youth board was formed, the community youths have really shown their talent and dedicated their services to the community and have done amazing projects. We would like to commend them for this. It's our vision to ensure that we have continuation leadership, especially with experience on community work, which is very important for a community to run smoothly. We shall continue supporting and promoting our youths so that they can guide them to be our future leaders. We have just witnessed this evening the Julus procession that was very well organized by a dedicated team of community members, which also included a few youths and seasoned experienced workers of the community. Hence, the need for experience is very important for the future of any community to progress. We don't need to reinvent the wheel any longer. My brothers and sisters, this community is ours, and we humbly request you all to come and serve in various boards and committees so that we can all serve the community we belong in. Please come forward and give your time to the community, and definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward us all. Last but not the least, we would like to thank the various boards and committees, especially our Mukhi, including our ladies board, who have done an amazing job during the past 2 months, and the Mulyanis they have invited that came to recite Majlis for the ladies folk. We as a committee would like to ensure our sisters and mothers shall be supported whenever required, and as we respect their services and facilities they provide for the ladies. Our appreciation to all the reciters and volunteers who have served in various sections during Ashra Muharram and the last 10 days of Ashra, and for all of you for attending the program on time and according all the cooperation always requested by the Jamaat. May I request you all to recite Surah Fatiha for all Maroomins who are with us partaking in Azadari last year and who are no more with us, and for all Maroomins. Al-Fatiha.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. આવતીકાલે ઇમામ હુસૈન અલૈહિસ્સલામ અને શોહદાએ કરબલાનું ચહેલુમનો દિવસ હોવાથી મજલિસો અને ઝિયારત અરબઈનનો પ્રોગ્રામની વિગત આ મુજબ છે. સૌપ્રથમ ફજરની નમાઝે જમાત બાદ મહેફિલ હુજ્જતમાં મજલિસ, ઝિયારત અરબઈન અને ત્યારબાદ નિયાઝમાં સર્વે બાઈઓ તથા ભાઈઓને પધારવાની વિનંતી છે. ઝોહરની નમાઝે જમાત બાદ લગભગ 1 વાગે અત્રે હુસૈનીએ ઝહરામાં ચહેલુમની મજલિસ, ઝિયારત અરબઈન અને નિયાઝમાં સર્વે બાઈઓ તથા ભાઈઓની શિરકત કરવાની વિનંતી છે. સાંજના 5:15 વાગે મહેફિલ પંજતની કબ્રસ્તાનમાં શોહદાએ કરબલાના અરબઈનની મજલિસમાં સર્વે ભાઈઓ પધારજો. મજલિસ આપણા મુઅઝ્ઝિઝ મહેમાન શેખ અબ્બાસ ઇસ્માઇલ પડશે. આવતીકાલે મગરિબઈની નમાઝે જમાત બાદ અત્રે હુસૈની ઝહરામાં મહેફિલ હુસૈની હસ્તક, શોહદાએ કરબલાની 40માં અને શામે વતનની મજલિસ અને ત્યારબાદ નિયાઝમાં સર્વે ભાઈઓ તથા ભાઈઓ પધારજો. Majlis Hussain and Niyaz for gents at the residence of Al-Hajj Muhammad Raza Rashid on Wednesday 28th August at 7:30 p.m. Majlis Hussain and Niyaz for gents at the residence of Al-Hajj Mukhtar Bhai Yusuf Datu on Saturday 31st August at 1 p.m. Majlis and takeaway Niyaz at Mehfil Shah Khurasan for gents on Saturday 31st August at 7:30 p.m. Full program of all these majalis will be circulated in due course. Namra vinanti છે ભાઈઓ પ્લીઝ આગળ આવજો with a loud salawat. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma
Salamun alaykum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bari'il khalaiqi ajma'een. Ba'ithil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Thumma salatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Khatamin nabiyyin. شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين مولانا وسيدنا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض مولانا حجة ابن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم صل على ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في قرآنه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, respected ulama, it's the penultimate majlis of our series in which we have tried our best to inculcate a longing and a belonging with Imam Zaman. Yearning for Imam Zaman is the title of these lectures. And we have reached this stage of our discussion that we're discussing the characteristics of Imam Zaman. The first one was that he is alive, in a very real and immediate sense he is alive. And the second is that he is the hand of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the daste rahmat-e khuda, the hand of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dostane Aziz, Azizane Girami, we have tried our best in these lectures at a layperson level, because we are all lay people here, at a layperson level to present this kind of material. However, following on from what our respected Vice Chairman was saying, if you want the depth of the matter, a little bit more depth in this matter, then yes, please refer to those Ziyarat-e-Jamia lectures, which I have requested, and I'm sure the Jamaat is going to circulate it amongst you. But even then, there are individuals already who have that link, who have been listening to it. I request them, I will not take their names, but I will request them, to the best of their ability, they propagate this, they inform you of this. Azizani Girami, we have lots of challenges coming. We have lots of winds blowing here and there. We have lots of questions, doubts. Why these doubts are being targeted at very vulnerable, very lay people, it staggers me, because the way I think about it is that, like, if you want to improve something, if you think that all of us are on the wrong path and going in the wrong direction, and we have incorrect beliefs and all of this kind of thing, well, we are like lay people, right? We take our lead from our great ulama in Qum and Najaf. If you have uncovered something which is so amazing and so phenomenal that 1400 years of our Shia scholarship has not been able to find, but you have found it, then Bismillah, go to the Hawzat of Qum and Najaf and debate with those people, debate with our senior ulama, debate with them. Believe me, if Agha Sistani turns around and says, Mu'mineen, you are wrong, then believe me, we will agree with him. He is our leader. So go and debate with them. Put your arguments across. We are lay people. Why do you pick on the vulnerable and the weakest of the community? Mani samajh nahi padti. Samajh hi mein nahi aa raha hai. I don't understand. If this is the case, well, we are lay people. We will follow our leaders, our maraji, our mujtahideen. May Allah give them a long life. Convince them, Bismillah, the door is open, convince them. If they are convinced, then I'm sure all of us will be convinced, because we are their muqallideen. But if you want to gain a little bit more depth in these things, the depth of ma'rifat of Ahlul Bayt, depth of ma'rifat of Amirul Mu'mineen, ma'rifat of, for example, what we are going to discuss tonight, which is the mercy of Imam Zaman, then we have a line in Zayat Jamia, for example, that they are Assalamu alaikum ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwa, until we come to wa ma'dinur rahmah, that they are you are the stores of the divine mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where Allah stores His mercy is in your hearts. Refer to those lectures, inshallah, you'll get a much more comprehensive and in-depth view of Ahlul Bayt. Then, I'm telling you, if someone says to you that you're doing ghulu, if someone tells you that you're doing exaggeration, you will turn around and say, I'm sorry, I'm not doing ghulu. In fact, if anything, all these years, we are doing injustice to Ahlul Bayt. We haven't promoted them enough. Forget that we're doing ghulu and we're over-exaggerating. We are not over-exaggerating. All this time, because of a lack of understanding or whatever it was, we have underestimated Ahlul Bayt. I'm telling you, the stores of Ahlul Bayt, the position of Ahlul Bayt, the martaba of Ahlul Bayt, the maqam of Ahlul Bayt, we have not understood properly. Listening to these kinds of things, going in a bit more depth, will give us a little bit more understanding. Still we will not reach their heights, and still we will not reach their depth. Azizane Girami, we have tried our best to keep putting forward to you, my dear mu'minin and mu'minat, with all respect and with all humility, putting forward to you different arguments, different way of reasoning, different way of thinking, importance of wilayat, importance of loving Ahlul Bayt, importance of coming under the authority of Ahlul Bayt. These are fundamental things. Once you come under the authority, come under the guardianship, come under the protective shade of Ahlul Bayt, it's a game changer. Your life will change, your belief will change. Belief will change to a better level, higher level. You will have more iman, you will have very deep iman, inshallah. How does Imam Zaman leave us? He will not leave us. You make one step towards him, he'll take 100 steps towards you. You remember him, believe me, he's already remembering you. You think you are sharik, you are joining in the gham of Aba Abdullah, believe me, Imam Zaman is already joining in your gham, in your harm, in your issues, in your calamities. He says, do not think that we have had any shortcomings and that we are not looking after you. We are with you, we are there for you, we are your backup, we are your support. There was a time in Mashhad, just on the outskirts of Mashhad, one of the farmers, a farmer, he comes to the great Ayatollah Sheikh Hassan Ali Nukhudukiya Isfahani. He comes to Agha and he says, listen, I have a problem. The fields around my fields, those nearby fields, they are being infested with a kind of locust type of infestation. These locusts are making all of those fields barbad. They're destroying those fields. I fear that not long to go, but they will end up in my fields as well, and they're going to eat my crops as well. Agha Nakhudakiya Isfahani, he says to him, listen, I will pray for you, and I'm writing something for you. You go and bury it in your field. Bury it in your field. But the reason behind this locust coming is one. They will attack your field because you have not paid the zakat. Zakat, khums, I've explained this before. I'm not going to explain it in depth again. Zakat is wajib, zakat is necessary, zakat is there in Tawzi'ul Masail, zakat is there in the chapters of fiqh. Maulana and Sheikh and others, they go to Hawza, they study the laws of zakat in depth. So why don't we pay zakat? Simply because we don't have those commodities on which zakat becomes due. That's why. If you're a farmer, if you have livestock of a certain type, if you have crops and grains of a certain type, then you will pay zakat, and many thousands, millions maybe of people are paying zakat. Those who are Shias and they are having farms and they're having agriculture, they are paying zakat. We typically, city dwellers, will not pay zakat because we are not in possession of those commodities. It's very simple. There's no conspiracy behind this. So he says to him, the reason why this is going to happen to you is because you don't pay your zakat. Those bugs, those locusts, those insects will infest your field because they are eating the haqq of the fuqara which you have not given. The haqq of the fuqara, the haqq of the poor which you are not giving in your zakat, they will come and eat it. Allah has a hisab and kitab. Allah has everything in His plan. Allah will extract His due the way He wants from a person who doesn't pay, for example. He says, Agha, I'm giving you my word, I promise you, I will start to pay my zakat, I will give the haqq of the fuqara, I will give the haqq of the poor. He said, okay, then put this writing which I'm doing for you, bury it in your field, and make sure you pay the zakat, and I will also pray for you. He says, I went, I did what I was told, I buried the paper, Agha prayed for me, and I was amazed at what I saw. I saw that indeed the locusts did come. They came to my field, but I literally saw them eating everything else other than my crops. They left the crops. They ate all the other weeds and whatnot around, but they left the crops. And that year, in fact, I had double the harvest than I would usually have. I had double what I would usually have. Rizq, barakat. Where does this come from? This comes from the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the blessings of Imam Zaman. You give the haqq, you do your bit, you do your duty, it will come to you. One person, he comes to the haram of Bibi Masuma Yakum Salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Azizan, before I go any further, please, if everyone can recite 3 loud salawats and come forward as much as you can, please. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So he goes to the haram of Bibi Masuma and he meets the great Ayatollah Araki. May Allah bless his soul. Ayatollah Araki was holding the zari. Okay, during that time, many years ago, Qum was not as busy as it is today. Today you go to Qum, it's very, very busy. In those days, it wasn't that busy. So ulama, maraji could easily come and hold the zari, pray their du'as. They would be seen by people. People would even be able to talk to them, for example. These days it's different. There's so much hujum, so much crowd, so much rush, so much bheer, that people cannot really access the ulama because it's just not feasible. Anyway, so he sees Ayatollah Araki come and hold the zari, and Ayatollah Araki is starting to supplicate, starting to recite du'as. So this guy, he says to himself, well, I don't know how to ask these fancy du'as. I don't know how to ask these eloquent, nicely phrased du'as. So what I'll do, I'll just go stand next to Ayatollah Araki, and whatever he says, I'll just say Ameen, 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 Ameen. Whatever he says, I'll also join him in his dua. This is the simple-mindedness of our mu'minin and mu'minat, and really they should be like this. So he says, this is what I'll do. I'll just stand there next to him and I'll say Ameen, Ameen. Okay? Whatever he says, I'll just say Ameen. He does that. Ayatollah Araki finishes his ziyarah, does his du'as. This guy is standing next to him saying Ameen, Ameen. And then Ayatollah Araki, being very old, if you remember those, actually our community did the taqleed of Ayatollah Araki for only a couple of months, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There was only a couple of months between Agha Khoi marhum and Ayatollah Gulpaygani marhum. Barabar chene. Just a few months we did the taqleed of Ayatollah Araki. Then he passed away, may Allah bless his soul. So he's very old, very old. So what happened was, now Ayatollah Araki wanted to move to his mihrab for namaz. So this person said, I was lucky enough that I was one of those able to help Agha Araki, Ayatollah Araki, go to the mihrab. I was able to hold him, help him, hold his arm, for example, and accompany him to the mihrab. As we were walking to the mihrab, I said to him something. I said to him, Agha, dua kunid man adam besham. Pray for me that I become a proper human being. Pray for me that I become a proper human being. Now, I don't know, Sheikh and our two Sheikhs and our dear Sayyid, what they would have done, but typically when someone says to an alim, pray for me, we just say, yeah, inshallah, I'll pray for you. Okay? Typically, that's what we say. Could mu'mineen come with so much love and affection, pray for me for something? We will typically say, yeah, okay, inshallah, I'll pray for you. And we pray for them. Whatever worth our du'as have, God knows. But anyway, we try to pray for them. Agha Araki gives him a very interesting answer. I would not have the guts really to say this to someone, but he had the guts. He says, listen, ba du'a kasi Adam nami shavad. He says, listen to me. With someone's du'as, you don't become a real human being. What do you mean? What a strange request, in other words. You're saying, Agha, pray for me that I become a real human being. He says, ba du'a kasi Adam nami shavad. What, do you think I'll just pray for you and you'll become a real human being? It's not like that. So he said, okay, then what do I need to do? Agha said 2 things you need to do. 2 things to become a real human being. In the beginning, 2 things. Number 1, he says, never take a decision when you're angry. Okay, this is the first thing. This will put you into problems. This will ruin you. This will put you into a lot of trouble. Never make a decision when you're angry. He said, what's the second one? He says, never worry about your rizq. Never worry about your rizq. Work for it. Work hard for it. Play the game of the rizq of Allah. Play the game of the bounties of Allah. It's a game at the end of the day. I mean that respectfully. I don't mean that flippantly. It's a game. You just have to play the game. Keep yourself pure. Keep yourself honest. Pay the dues. Pay the khums if that's due on you. Pay the zakat for those who are in agriculture, they'll pay the zakat. Just be honest. Do your bit. Do your duty. Leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So number 1, don't take a decision when you're angry. Number 2, don't worry too much about your rizq. And then he recited this famous poem, Rizq, Ruzi, Rasan, Par Mi Dahad. The person who is sending your rizq, your razik, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he sends your rizq, he gives it wings. In other words, don't worry about it. It'll fly and come to you. Wherever you are, it will reach you. Wanabi Ruzi Buwad Ankabut. And there is no spider that is left without its rizq. In other words, everything is fed by God. Everything is supported by Allah. Don't worry too much about it. Play the game. Do your best. Especially men. Men, we have a big burden in Islam. If you tell me that women have a burden in Islam, I'll say no, men have more of a burden in Islam. And I'm saying that genuinely. Men, we have a big burden in Islam. On us, it is wajib to make sure the family's expenses are met and the ends are met in a reasonable way. We have to make sure that's wajib upon us. So men, we have a very big burden on us that we have to make sure our families are taken care of financially. But the thing is, you're not supposed to kill yourself for this. You're not supposed to work all hours of the day which Allah sends. This is not what God wanted. This is not the way He wanted. He wanted you to work hard, work sincerely, work honestly. But then tawakkul ala Allah. Trust God. Leave it to God. Don't get too stressed. Don't let it take away the peace of your mind. Don't let it take away the sukoon of your heart. Don't let it keep you awake at night. Inshallah, Allah will give everyone increase in rizq. Ilahi Ameen. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So this world, Azizan Girami, the way we were discussing yesterday, this world is alive. You do something, you will get the response. You do something, there will be a reaction. You do something, and the world will show you its reaction. Like the farmer that we just described. Like, for example, yesterday we described that guy who had the chelo kebab shop, Murshid Chelui. You do something for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you do something for Amirul Mu'mineen, you'll see the world how it reacts. Otherwise, وَضَاقَتِ الْأَرْضِ وَمُنِعَتِ السَّمَاءِ. Otherwise, don't be surprised if the earth prevents its crops from growing and the sky prevents its rain from falling. Why does this happen? Why do these things happen? بِمَا كَسَبَتْ Aidin Nas, because of what the people are doing in this world. So the character of the Imam is that he's one of the Ma'adinur Rahmah of Allah. He's one of the stores, the mines, the places where Allah stores His mercy. That mercy then flows to all of us. There was a famous companion of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salatu wassalam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, whose name was Tawus Yamani. When he heard the descriptions of the people at the end of time and the kind of barakat and rizq and amazing mercy that would come at the hands of Baqiyatullah, he says, I wish I would not have to die and I would see the time of the Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. I wish I would see that time in which the goodness of the good increases and the wrongdoers are forgiven. Azizan, Imam Zaman will not come as a tyrant, as an oppressor. He will come to forgive. He will match people. He will bring people together. He will cause forgiveness. He will cause people to come together once again. People will have been estranged. Friends will have been estranged. Mu'mineen from mu'min. Brothers from brothers. Fathers from their children. Children with one another. Community members. All of this. Imam will come and he will do something that everyone comes back together. So this is like a utopia in this world. This is like a glimpse that we're trying to give you in these lectures of what kind of heaven there will be on this earth. The Mahdawi heaven, the heaven of Imam Zaman. How he will come with these stores of mercy, with these Ma'dinur Rahmah of God, and spread peace and mercy throughout the world. Now I'm going to narrate to you one hadith. This hadith is from Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam. Now, when I read this hadith, it was bittersweet. Bittersweet. Sweet in one sense that it's giving us a very, very amazing, positive image of the time of Imam Zaman. But bitter. Why? Because it shows us and it mentions those things for which we are starting to break apart, for which our unity is being affected, by which, for example, manipulations are happening, by which, for example, families are being broken. When you hear this, inshallah, you'll know what I'm saying. On one hand, it's showing you a very beautiful vision of the future. On the other hand, you have to think that this is the way we are. Is this the way actually we are behaving? Listen carefully. Fifth Imam, he says that when Imam Zaman comes, the wealth of the earth, there's no limit to the wealth of Allah. There's no limit to the wealth that God can give us if He wants to. The wealth of the earth, all those, gold and diamond and whatever it may be, whatever these things are, the wealth of the earth and what is inside the earth will all be gathered to Imam Zaman. All of it will come into the possession of the Imam. Why not? He is the Malik of this world. He is the owner of this kingdom. He is the master of this universe. All of this, by the idhn and permission of God, will come to Imam Zaman. And he will then announce, this is the bitter part, come and take that for which you broke family ties. Come. This is what you wanted? Come. This was so special for you that you broke your family ties, you betrayed your family, you broke apart, you argued with one another for this, which is at our disposal. This is what you wanted? Come, take it. Come and take that for which you spilt innocent blood. Come and take that for which you broke the laws of God. You wanted extra money, no? You wanted better job, no? You wanted increase in your rizq, no? So your namaz got qaza, didn't it? You broke the laws of God. You lied. You cheated. You stole, na'udhu billah. You conned people. You lied to people. For this, come and take. Fifth Imam then says, after that he will give them so much from this wealth that no one has been given any kind of generosity before like that. In other words, what is he going to do? He is going to come and by whatever means necessary, he will start to patch people up. He's not the Imam of wrath and anger. He's the Imam of unity. He's the Imam of compassion. He will fill those voids, unfortunately, which are in our hearts. He will make people happy. He will come and make peace between people. In the time of Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Two mu'mineen, two Shias were arguing with one another. About what? What else? Money, right? Arguing with one another. One of the companions of the Imam sees them and he says to them, you're arguing, I can see you're arguing, we don't like to see this, come with me. They go to his house. He says, what's the issue? One says, for example, this is just an example, one says, for example, he owes me 200. The other one says, no, he owes me 400. He says, okay, calm down. Here, you take this, are you happy? Yes. You take this, are you happy? Yes. Okay, fine. Now will you argue? No. They said, thank you very much, you've given us from your wealth. He said, this is not my wealth, this is the wealth of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. He told me, whenever you see our Shias arguing, use this wealth of mine and give it to them and make peace. Honestly, we are arguing about this kind of thing. Our community is being split by this kind of thing. Makes you think, doesn't it? Imam will come, he'll patch people together. He'll make peace with one another. He'll join them together. He will bring back families. The world before Imam Zaman is a very bad world in some senses, because people are being ripped apart, torn apart, families, people, communities, unities. Unity is going, disunity is appearing, disrespect is appearing. Why? Because of some of it is because of these greeds and these issues. Imam will come and patch people up. When they see that hand of mercy of Baqiyatullah, when they see their leaders, especially the topmost leader Imam Zaman behaving like this, everyone will fall into line. They'll become inspired. They'll say, yes, this is what we needed. All these years, this is what we needed. All these governments, all these organizations, all this UN, all these different organizations in the world, all these World Banks and IMF and whatnot, none of this came in handy. None of our man-made systems worked for us. We need that system which is missing, which is the system of Allah. And when people end up coming under the shade and the authority and wilayat of Sahibul Asri wal Zaman, you will see how they change. Not only that, it goes further, inshallah. Let me share one more thing, inshallah, before we go on to Masaib with a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It goes even further. I've told you about humanity. I've told you about animal kingdom. I've told you about the crops, the earth, the sky, the rain. We've heard all of this. Even one more step further. Even one more step further. Those who will also rejoice at the coming of the Imam are those people who are no longer even alive. They've been buried. They're in barzakh. They're in their graves. They will begin to rejoice. They will be. Imagine the barakat of the wujud of waliya khuda. The barakat, the blessing of the presence of the representative of Allah. So what happens is that the broad mercy of God will spread. Even those who have died and have passed away, who are in the world of the graves and the world of barzakh, they will have a share in this happiness that Sahibul Amr has come. Even they will rejoice. They will feel the happiness and they will have a feeling of these blessings. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He says, it is as if I can see. It is as if I can see that I am with the Qa'im in Najaf. And he is wearing the armor of Rasulullah. He is dressed in the armor of the Prophet of God. At that stage, there is not a single believer, except that there will be a happiness and a joy that will enter his grave. And this is a time when the people of the grave will rush to meet one another, giving each other mubaraki and glad tidings that now the Imam has come. They will express this to one another. Barakat of wujud, Ahlul Bayt, Waliya Khuda, Baqiyatullah. This is phenomenal. This is Imam Zaman. This is Ahlul Bayt. Inshallah, Allah gives us tawfiq to be in the group of Imam Zaman. With your loudest of voices, mu'mineen, come on, let's have a proper ilahi ameen. It gives, we pray to Allah that He gives us tawfiq to be in the group of Imam Zaman, to have the ziyarat of Imam Zaman. if we are dead and we don't see that time that He raises us from our graves to serve Imam Zaman, that He gives us the tawfiq to perform the ziyarat of Imam Zaman. He gives us the tawfiq to cry upon Aba Abdullah, to do the ziyarat of Imam Hussain, ziyarat of Amirul Mu'mineen, ziyarat of Imam Riza and all the Aimma alayhimus salam. Azizane Muhtaram, Azadaran of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Ghamkharan Sayyid al-Shohada. Tonight is the night of Arba'in. Tonight is the night where we remember in a very special way that blood which was spilt in Karbala. Let me take you back. Before we recite the exact Arba'in Masaib, let's go a little bit back. How did we get here where we are tonight? It is the Asr of Ashur, the late afternoon of the day of Ashura. Imam Hussain alayhi salam comes to his sister. He greets Janab Zainab. He says farewell to her. She says to him, brother, come closer. He comes closer. She says to him, brother, put your neck down. He puts his neck down. She kisses the neck of Aba Abdullah. He looks at her. He says, Zainab, my sister, why do you kiss my neck? She says to him, brother, our mother had told me that when you are in your last moments with Hussain, then from me, from my side, from the side of Fatima, give a kiss to the neck of Aba Abdullah, because that is where the dagger will be put. He says to her sister, give me your arms. She says, brother, why? He says, give me your arms. He takes the arms of Janab Zainab. He kisses the wrists and the arms of Janab Zainab. She says to him, brother, why do you do this? He says, our father told me that when you have your final moments with Zainab, then from me, from Amirul Mu'mineen, give a kiss to the arms of Janab Zainab. These will be tied by the ropes and by the shackles and the chains. Aba Abdullah bids farewell to Janab Zainab. Aba Abdullah, until that moment, they say that Hussain, throughout the day of Ashura, he looked like a young man. He looked like a young man. But after he stands up from the body of Abul Fadl al-Abbas, Aba Abdullah does not look young anymore. When he stands up from the body of Abbas, his back is bent. He looks like an old man. And we heard him cry out, Al-an in kasarat dhahri, that now my back is broken. Now that Abbas has been taken, my back has been broken. He bids farewell to Abbas. He bids farewell to the lash of Hazrat Abbas. He bids farewell to the ladies. He bids farewell to Janab Zainab. Now Gharib Zahra stands alone in Karbala. Gharib Zahra stands alone. He looks around. He makes an announcement. Where are you, my heroes of Karbala? Where is my beloved Habib? Where is my beloved Muslim? What has happened to all of my supporters? He looks around. He looks at the sky. He looks around. He makes an announcement. Hal min nasirin yansuruna. Hal min nasirin yansuruna. Azizane Girami, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that when you go to Karbala, one of the etiquettes of Karbala is this, that you stand in front of Imam Hussain and you say, Labbaika ya da'i Allah, I am here for you, O one who invites to Allah. Why? Why do you say that? And you say that 7 times. It is because on the day of Ashura, Imam Hussain asked for you 7 times. 7 times he repeated, Hal min nasirin yansuruna. Aba Abdullah makes the announcement. Aba Abdullah says, Hal min nasirin yansuruna. And then the attacks begin. This son of Amirul Mu'mineen rides out into Karbala. He fights, he fights, he fights. Many of the enemies are killed. Finally, he is struck down. He is thirsty and hungry since the last 3 days. Aba Abdullah falls to the ground. They asked Ayatollah Bahajat. Ayatollah Bahajat was asked that when we go to Karbala, we see this place within the walls called Qatal Laga, which is lit by a red light. What is that Qatal Laga? What is that area? Ayatollah Bahajat says that when Aba Abdullah fell to the ground, they thought that now Hussain is dead. No one dared to come towards Aba Abdullah. They said Hussain has now died. But then Umar Saad said, he might be alive. Now how do we test whether he is truly dead or not? He said, he loves his sister very much. Let us go and and ride towards the tents of Zainab. If he is alive, he will make a movement. They begin to ride towards the tents of Janab Zainab. The deal was that while I'm alive, you don't loot the tents, you don't attack the women. When they begin to ride towards the tents, Abu Abdullah, he stands up with a lot of difficulty. He crawls on the ground with a lot of difficulty. He says to them, I am still alive. Don't forget our agreement. You are not to loot while I am still alive. That's how they have the qatlaga, the crawling of Abu Abdullah. Shimr comes ahead. No one was prepared to take the life of Imam Hussain. Shimr was the one without any shame. He says, I will be the one. Imam Zaman says, وَشِمْرٌ جَالِسٌ عَلَى صَدْرِهِ. Shimr came and climbed upon Imam Hussain. The head of Abu Abdullah is cut. It is severed from back to front with a blunt dagger. Shimr puts the maximum amount of pain onto Abu Abdullah. When the head is severed, Janab Zainab is standing on Tille Zainabiyah. She's watching the whole scene in front of her. Janab Zainab, as soon as she sees the head has been severed, she goes to the tent of Imam Zainul Abidin. She says, Sajjad, you are now the Imam. Imam Sajjad says, let me see what is happening outside. What does he see? A spear is raised. On top of the spear, he sees the head of Abu Abdullah. They say that at that moment he heard some cries from the sky. The angels in the sky were weeping. Ala qad qutil al-Hussainu bi Karbala. Ala qad dhubiha al-Hussainu bi Karbala. The angels began to weep and to wail that now Abu Abdullah has been killed. Now that Abu Abdullah has been slaughtered. The ground of Karbala begins to shake. There is an earthquake in Karbala of sorts. The skies darken. The winds begin to blow. There is a tufan, there is a whirlwind, there are hurricanes. The sands begin to blow, the winds begin to blow, the earth begins to shake. Umar Saad gives the order that now we have killed him, now we can ride and loot the tents. They come to the tents. They loot the tents. The women run from tent to tent. Imam Zainul Abidin was asked, Mawla, tell us about that night of Sham-e Ghariba. How was it, Mawla? He had a tasbih in his hand. He said, look at this tasbih. He broke the tasbih. The beads of the tasbih began to roll everywhere. He says, do you see the way the tasbih, the beads are rolling? This is the way my aunties were running from tent to tent. They begin to run from tent to Imam Zainul Abidin is rescued. Imam Zainul Abidin is taken with them from tent to tent. They come into each tent. They loot each tent. Each tent is looted. All the artifacts, all the properties, all the things of Ahlul Bayt are taken. Each tent is then put on fire. One man says, I arrived late. I did not get anything from the tents. But then my eyes fell on the ring of Abu Abdullah, which was on his hand. I said, I want this ring. I came to the hand of Abu Abdullah. The ring would not come off. I pulled and I pulled, but the ring would not come off. I took out my knife and I cut the fingers of Abu Abdullah and I took that ring. Janab Sakina is running from tent to tent. There is a chaos, there is a panic, there is a fire in the tents. Janab Sakina, her clothes catch fire. Janab Sakina bumps into one of the enemies. She bumps into one of the soldiers. He says, when I saw this young girl, I looked at her ears. She had very nice earrings. I said to myself, these earrings will look good on my own daughter. I snatched them from her ears. Janab Sakina now, her ears are bleeding. Her clothes have been burnt. Her face is full of the bruises, of the slaps of the enemies. Then we come to 11th of Muharram, the next day. The next day what happens? Umar Saad gives the order, bury all of the forces of Yazid. All of the forces of Yazid were buried. And then what happened is that the Shohada, the lash of the Shohada, the bodies of the Shohada are all left out in the open. But amongst them there is one body which looks completely different. This body, I don't know, can you even call it a body? This is the only body that was trampled by the hooves of the horses. Why? Because this is the son of Ali and this is the son of Zahra. Every other body was taken away except for the body of Abu Abd. When Bibi Zainab comes to the body, she cannot believe. She asks a question. She says, Anta akhi, anta al-Hussain. Could this really be you, my brother? She looks towards Medina. She starts to lament. She starts to say, Wa Muhammada, Wa Musibata, Wa Mustafa, O Prophet of God, O Mother Zahra, this is your Hussein, Murammalum biddima, Mukatta'ul a'dha, covered in blood. His body parts have been cut. His body has been trampled. They order that each of these prisoners is shackled and chained. The heaviest chains and the most severe shackles are put on Imam Zainul Abidin. Then they are taken, they are linked together with these chains. One chain sometimes links 10 people, 11 people, 12 people. I ask you, Azadaro, how would have been the chain of Bibi Sakina? How would she have been chained? If everyone is chained on their hands, then when it comes to Janab Sakina, she must have been chained on her neck. How did they make her walk? People are put onto camels, people are put onto horses. Imam Zainul Abidin is made to walk on the floor, on the ground, towards Kufa. This long journey Imam Zainul Abidin does. After Kufa, then they are told, now we have to go to Sham. On the way to Sham, they cross a number of towns. For the first town they come to is Tikrit. Before they enter Tikrit, it is announced, it is told to the people of Tikrit, there is a group coming. When you see this group, what are you supposed to do? Everyone who can gather a stone, gather a stone. When you see this group, throw your stones upon this group. Janab Zainab is hit by stones. Bibi Kulthum is hit by stones. Bibi Rabab is hit by stones. The Ahlul Bayt are hit by... Then they come to more towns, Musayyab, Mosul, all of these towns they pass. Finally, after such a long journey, they arrive in Sham. Imam Sajjad, when you ask him, Mawla, what is the worst time? He will tell you, Sham, Sham, Sham. There is nothing compared to Sham. They enter into the court of Yazid. Yazid is sitting there. Yazid is sitting there. They are lined up in front of Yazid. Here is Bibi Zainab. Here is Bibi Kulthum. Here is Janab Sakina. And in front of them, what does Yazid have? He orders, bring the head of Aba Abdullah to me. The head of Aba Abdullah is put into a tray and put in front of Yazid. Yazid then begins to hit the lips of Aba Abdullah with his stick. Janab Zainab says, Yazid, have some shame. Do you know what you are doing? These are the lips which Rasulullah used to kiss. These are the lips which used to kiss my mother Zahra. Have some shame. What are you doing? Yazid orders that they be put into prison. Yazid orders that imprison them all. In the prison now, Janab Sakina, she begins to see a dream. She cries for her father. Every day, Baba, Baba, where are you? Baba, Baba, can I be with you? Every day, Janab Sakina is crying. On one evening, she sees a dream. When she wakes up, she screams. Janab Zainab says, what is the matter? She says, I saw my father in a dream. He had come to me. He was comforting me. He was telling me, Sakina, come towards me. And she begins to cry. The cries reach Yazid. Yazid says, what does she want? They say she wants her father. He says, send the head of Abu Abdullah. Send the head of Imam Hussain to her. The head of Abu Abdullah comes. Janab Sakina hugs the head. What does she say to the head? She says a number of questions. One of the questions is, Baba, who has made me yatim, Baba? Who took you away from me, Baba? Baba, your beard is full of the blood of who, Baba? Which blood is this? Maybe she said to Imam Hussain, Baba, do you remember the earrings which you had given me, Baba? They were snatched away from me. Janab Sakina passes away. She becomes Shahida inside the Zindan. Now Imam Sajjad has to bury her. But first they say, we need some help of the ladies. Call someone. Who do you have? They say, we have someone. She's the ghassala. She's the one who gives the ghusl. When the ghassala comes, she looks at the body. She looks at Bibi Zainab. She becomes silent. Janab Zainab said, what is it? She says, I have a question, but I am shy. Bibi Zainab says, ask your question. She says, I have never seen a body like this. What kind of illness did she have? Bibi Zainab, what does she say? Does she say that she was beaten, that she was burnt, that she was made to walk for miles and miles, that there was a chain around her neck? They bury Bibi Sakina. They bury Janab Sakina in the Zindan. And then Yazid realizes that I can no longer keep these people imprisoned. I have to release them. There was an outcry against Yazid that who have you imprisoned? The word began to spread. Yazid says, I will free you now. Janab Zainab now. Look at Janab Zainab, what she says to Yazid. She says, Yazid, you want to free us. We have some conditions. Number one, the first condition is that you return to us all of the heads of our beloved ones. We want the head of Ali Akbar. We want the head of Qasim. We want the head of Abbas. Yazid, you must return the heads of Abu Abdullah and all our dear ones. He says, I will return the heads. Then she says, Yazid, from the time we have left Karbala, we have not mourned. We have not grieved. You did not give us a chance to cry. You did not give us a chance to do matam on our beloved ones. Yazid, we want that chance to cry and mourn. Yazid arranges a place, a house, they say, was arranged for the Ahlul Bayt, for these Asiran of the Ahlul Bayt. One by one they gathered in there. All the ladies are there. Imam Sajjad is there. One by one they begin to bring in the heads of the Shohada and then all of the artifacts which they had looted. Now this is where the matam and the gham and the azadari becomes maximum for Ahlul Bayt. How would they have reacted? Seeing the torn shirt of Abu Abdullah, seeing, for example, the armor of Ali Akbar, seeing the two small armors of Aun and Muhammad, seeing, for example, those artifacts of Hazrat Abbas, seeing, for example, those chadars of the ladies which had been returned. Slowly but surely their artifacts had been returned. But now, Azadaro, the most harsh, the most difficult masaib for me is this. The one which really must have broken their hearts is the heart of Rabab. Rabab, how would she have reacted when she sees the amanat being brought in? Whose amanat? The amanat of Bibi Sakina. When they bring those earrings of Janab Sakina, Rabab's heart must have broken. When they bring in the cot, the jula of Ali Asghar, which they had looted, her heart must have split. Allah la'natullahi al-qawmi al-zalimin. Wa sayalamu alladhina zalamu ayya munqalibin yanqalibun. Matam Hussain.
चेहलुम को आ रहे हैं गरीबाने करबला,
चेहलुम को आ रहे हैं गरीबाने करबला।
उठते हैं काप काप शहीदाने
करबला, चेहलुम को आ रहे हैं गरीबाने करबला,
चेहलुम को
आ रहे हैं गरीबाने करबला।
कुछ बेकफन शहीद है, कुछ बेरिदा असीर,
वो बेखता कतील है, ये बेखता असीर।
यूं भी कोई जहां में न
होवे खुदा असीर,
जैसे हुए असीर
असीराने करबला, चेहलुम को आ रहे हैं गरीबाने करबला।
नामू से पंजतन के निगेदार आ गए,
जिंदा से छुट के सैयद सज्जाद आ गए,
बेगोरो बेकफन के
आजादार आ गए।
मैदाने हश्र बन गया
मैदाने करबला, चेहलुम को आ रहे हैं गरीबाने करबला। آئی کو رونے زینب دلگیر آ گئی، وہ بنت دختر شہ لولاک آ گئی، وہ سوگوار پنجتن پاک آ گئی، کرنے سلام آخری میدان کربلا، چہلم کو آ رہے ہیں غریبان کربلا، اپنی خزادی زینب دلگیر پر سلام، بالی سکینہ دختر شبیر پر سلام، ام رباب مادر بشیر پر سلام، لو آخری سلام شہیدان کربلا، چہلم کو آ رہے غریبان کربلا، اے شیر بانو مادر اکبر تمہیں سلام، اے بیوائے جناب علمدار السلام، اے ام فروا مادر قاسم تمہیں سلام، لو آخری سلام شہیدان کربلا، چہلم کو آ رہے ہیں غریبان کربلا، 40واں ہے درد کے اجزا بکھر گئے، رونق تھی جن سے آج یہاں سے کدھر گئے، جی بھر کے ہم رانو جی بھر کے ہم نہ روئے سفر آپ کر گئے، لو آخری سلام شہیدان کربلا، چہلم کو آ رہے ہیں غریبان کربلا، اگلے برس بھی آپ ہے اور آپ کے غلام، زندہ رہے تو ہے اسی ماتم سے ہم کو کام، اور چل بسے تو آخری ہوگا یہی سلام، لو آخری سلام شہیدان کربلا، چہلم کو آ رہے ہیں غریبان کربلا، چہلم کو آ رہے ہیں غریبان کربلا۔
مومنین آگے آ جائیں، ماتم میں ہلکے میں شمار ہو جائیں۔ یا حسین یا حسین
یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین،
وہ جو رسی تھی میرے ہاتھوں میں تھک کے آخر اتر گئی بھیا، قید میری
گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، ہائے ہائے تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، وہ جو رسی تھی میرے ہاتھوں میں تھک کے آخر اتر گئی بھیا، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا،
سب پڑھو،
تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، قتل چھپنے نہیں دیا تیرا، ہر جگہ خون کا دیا پرسا، قتل چھپنے نہیں دیا تیرا، ہر جگہ خون کا دیا پرسا، تیرے مقتل سے شام زندہ تک خون میں ہو کے تر گئے بھیا، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم بنانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم بنانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، ہائے تیرا چہلم بنانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، وہ جو سفر کے بعد کہتی تھی اب میرا آسرا سکینہ ہے، وہ جو سفر کے بعد کہتی تھی اب میرا آسرا سکینہ ہے، ایسے سائے میں اس کے لاؤں میں اب سکینہ بھی چل بسی بھیا، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، وہ جو رسی تھی میرے ہاتھوں میں تھک کے آخر اتر گئی بھیا، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، ایک نیزے پہ تیرا سر ایک نیزے پہ میری چادر تھی، ایک نیزے پہ تیرا سر ایک نیزے پہ میری چادر تھی، تیری آنکھیں تو بند تھی پر میں شام تک ننگے سر گئی بھیا، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا،
سب مل کے پڑھیے،
چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، رسیاں تو اتر گئی ہے مگر بازوؤں پر نشان باقی ہے، رسیاں تو اتر گئی ہے مگر بازوؤں پر نشان باقی ہے، کیسے زندہ رہیں گے عبداللہ، میں تو زخمی ہی گر گئی بھیا، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں، قید میری گزر گئی بھیا، تیرا چہلم منانے آئی ہوں،
سادات کربلا ارے سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئیں وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا ہر بی بی کر رہی تھی کچھ اس طرح سے فغان سادات
کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئے وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئے وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئے وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا
کچھ بیبیاں یہاں ہے کچھ بیبیاں وہاں
کرتے ہوئے فغا کرتے ہوئے فغا
بچھڑے ہوئے دماغ تلے
سرور میں جا بجا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئے وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا
ایک بی بی دشت خونی میں جاتے ہیں نہر پر
کہتے بچشم تر کہتے بچشم تر
عباس دینے آئے ہوں
پرسا سکینہ کا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا
گھٹ گھٹ کے لاڈلی تیری زندہ میں مر بسے
قربات وہی بنی قربات وہی بنی
بھیا وہ قید سے نہ
ہوئی مر کے بے رہا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا
اکبر کی قبر پر یوں ہوئے لیلا نوحہ گئے
دیکھا نہ سال بھر دیکھا نہ سال بھر
آئے ہوں قید شام سے
اب ہو کہ میں رہا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا
بانو یہ بین کرتی تھی اے میرے بے زبان
ماں ڈھونڈے اب کہاں ماں ڈھونڈے اب کہاں
بتلا دے ہے کہاں میرا
اصغر کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا چہلم کو کربلا میں جب آئی وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا سادات کربلا
قربان تیرے اے میرے ماجا اے بے وطن
مجبور تھی بہن مجبور تھی بہن
زندہ میں مجھے سے تیری
امانت ہوئی جدا سادات کربلا شیلم کو کربلا میں جب آئیں وہ بیبیاں سادات کربلا
قافلہ جب وطن لوٹ آیا آ کے باب مدینہ پہ ٹھہرا گرد اجڑے ہوئے قافلے کے ارے پرساداروں نے حلقہ بنایا شور ماتم ہوا شور گریا اٹھا شور ماتم ہوا شور گریا اٹھا شور ماتم ہوا شور گریا اٹھا اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی
کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
بی بی
کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
بی بی
کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
شہر نانا کا لا تقبلینا
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
بی بی
کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ
یا حسین
مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو
گیا شہر نانا کے ہم آئے اجڑے ہوئے
شہر نانا کے ہم آئے اجڑے ہوئے
خیر مقدم کے قابل کہاں ہم رہے
خیر مقدم کے قابل کہاں ہم رہے
شہر نانا کے لا تقبلینا
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
علی
بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
ہائے نانا براگر کا گھر لٹ گیا
ہائے نانا براگر کا گھر لٹ گیا
چادریں لٹ گئی مالو زر لٹ گیا
چادریں لٹ گئی مالو زر لٹ گیا
تھا محرم کا کیسا مہینہ
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
حبیبی کلثوم
کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
چومتے تھے جسے آپ نانا صدا
چومتے تھے جسے آپ نانا صدا
تیرا ضربوں سے کاٹا گیا وہ گلا
تیرا ضربوں سے کاٹا گیا وہ گلا
شمر کے دل میں تھا کتنا کینہ
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
حسین
بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
بھائی 18 تھے کوئی بھی نہ رہا
بھائی 18 تھے کوئی بھی نہ رہا
6 مہینے کا اصغر بھی مارا گیا
6 مہینے کا اصغر بھی مارا گیا
لٹ گیا سب ہمارا خزینہ
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب
ہو گیا میری ہم کو در در پھرایا گیا
میری ہم کو در در پھرایا گیا
ظلم ہے کوچا کوچا سجایا گیا
ظلم ہے کوچا کوچا سجایا گیا
بارش پتھروں کی رکی نہ
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
علی
بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
ہائے اماں گلے سے لگا لو مجھے
اے اماں گلے سے لگا لو ہمیں
ہائے اماں گلے سے لگا لو ہمیں
اے اماں گلے سے لگا لو ہمیں
اپنی مرکز میں للہ چھپا لو ہمیں
اپنے مرکز میں للہ چھپا لو ہمیں
اس قدر پیدل پہلے چلی نا
اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا بی بی کلثوم کا تھا یہ نوحہ اے مدینہ غضب ہو گیا
سید ابرار کا آج ہے 40واں سید ابرار کا آج ہے 40واں زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں سید ابرار کا آج ہے 40واں سید ابرار کا 40واں زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں کورو کا فن لوش کو جس کو میسر نہ یہ استان ناچار کا آج ہے 40واں سید ابرار کا آج ہے زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں گورو کا فن لوش کو جس کو میسر نہ یہ استان ناچار کا آج ہے 40واں سید ابرار کا زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں لاشے بے جن کے نہ یہ رونے کو واقعی رہا بے قصو بے یار کا آج ہے 40واں سید ابرار کا آج ہے 40واں سید زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں مر گئے عباس علی بازو کٹا نہرا پر شیخ عالمدار کا آج ہے 40واں سید زہرا کے دلدار کا آج 40واں تیر سے مارا گیا اثر معصوم تک اس ماہ انوار کا آج ہے 40واں سید زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں نقل امامت کا گول اکبر غنی چلا اس گول گلزار کا آج ہے 40واں سید زہرا کے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں نو کے سینہ پر چارا سر شاہ مظلوم کا کشتہ تلوار کا آج ہے 40واں سید سوا زہرا کے دلدار آج ہے 40واں لاشے پہ جس کے قریب فاطمہ کرتی ہے بین اس میرے دلدار کا آج ہے 40واں سید زہرا کے دلدار کا 40واں گورو کفن لاش کو جس کو میسر نہیں استان ناچار کا آج ہے 40واں سید زہرا کے دل کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں اٹھو رسول خدا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے آیا ہوں اٹھو رسول خدا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں رنجا سے دل ہے دو نیم ہو گیا خادم یتیم آپ کے فرزند کا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے آیا ہوں کہتے تھے عالم آیا ہو حامل و مشک و علم بازو شاہ زمان لہرا پہ مارا گیا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا آیا ہوں اصغر معصوم تک تیر سے مارا گیا ننھی سی تربت بنی لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین لے کے عالم آیا ہوں لٹ گیا شیر رسول چھٹ گئی قبر بطول بس گئی اب کربلا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے عالم آیا ہوں قاسم و اکبر نہ یہ بابا پہ سر پر نہ یہ کوئی نہ پرسا رہا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین لے کے عالم آیا ہوں ہو گئے ہم پر ستم لٹ گئے جنگل میں ہم مر گئے شاہ عودا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین عالم آیا ہوں لٹ گیا شیر رسول چھٹ گئی قبر بطول پس گئی اب کربلا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے زین العبا لے کے اٹھو رسول لے کے عالم آیا ہوں رنجا سے دل ہے دو نیم ہو گیا خادم یتیم آپ کے فرزند کا لے کے عالم آیا ہوں کہتے تھے
لوٹ گیا مدینہ یا سکین المدینہ علی یا سکین المدینہ فاطمہ زہرا کا لال رن میں ہوا پائے مال چل بسے سوئے جینا یا سکین المدینہ حسین المدینہ اکبر و اصغر چلا قاسم حسن چلا خالی ہوا مدینہ یا ساکن المدینہ مدینہ بانو کا ارمان لوٹا شکل نبی چل بسا سینے پہ کھایا سینہ یا ساکن المدینہ ساکن المدینہ حضرت عباس کے ہاتھ قلم ہو گئے کھائے ہیں گرز و سینہ یا ساکن المدینہ المدینہ شام کے زندان میں قید کی حالات میں چل بسی ہے سکینہ یا ساکن المدینہ ہر بھائی کے سوگوارو الوداع ہر بھائی کے سوگوارو الوداع فاطمہ زہرا کے پیارو الوداع عرش اعظم کے ستارو الوداع شاہدی کے دوست دارو الوداع الوداع عشق بارو الوداع تم بھی زینب کو پکارو الوداع لو بہن زینب ستارو الوداع آخری مجلس ہے یارو الوداع فاطمہ زہرا کے پیارو الوداع بے دیارو بے مزارو الوداع حسین امام مظلوم وویلا حسین امام مظلوم وویلا حسین شہید کربلا وویلا حید بدشت کربلا وویلا حسین قتیل الاشقیا وویلا شب جناب فاطمہ وویلا حسین امام مظلوم وویلا ابا سلام دارم چی شد وویلا اکبر نوجوان چی شد وویلا اصغر شیرخوارم چی شد وویلا حسین امام مظلوم وویلا یا حسین 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 مرحبا صلوا علی النبی اللہم صلی علی محمد وآلہ
لبيك
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. مرحبا. سورة المباركة الفاتحة.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء السلطان عرب الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا حجة الله يا ابن الحسن يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان، عجل الله فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته.